Today, I'm going to share with you how can you identify a winning creative on TikTok. And this is a very interesting video because I receive a lot of messages about winning creative and how can you identify one? How can you know which one is the best? Well, guys, there's an easy answer, but I'm going to tell you the longest answer so you can understand the easy answer way faster. Because if you don't have a lot of information, then you're going to be a little bit lost. But okay, let's start diving in. The first thing that you need to understand is now we are on my TikTok ad manager with one of the product that I've launched in the past. And as you can see, there's multiple sales and you can see the top two creative that are currently making the most sales. So this one and this one are the top ones. If you go down, it's always the same two that come back from time to time. There's one here that is a little bit different, but overall mostly it's always the same creative that come back up. And when it comes down to TikTok, it's fairly easy to notice a winning creative because the way the algorithm works and the way the skilling work. Because normally, if you're doing TikTok the right way, you're going to have an ad group or maybe multiple ad groups that are getting sales. Now that you have one or multiple that are getting sales, the way that you scale is by increasing the budget every other hour. And every time that you increase, you should get more sales. But now the algorithm is going to put a little bit of money on every creative, every single creative, and it's going to notice a switch that wait, this creative has better metrics. This creative has medium metrics, and this creative is not doing well at all. So he's going to start pushing little by little more and more of your budget towards the best creatives, and you're going to get a lot of sales. And that's what is going to happen at the end of your day. Let's say you start with a budget of $20, you have a winning product, you start scaling fast, 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 and you end up, you've spent maybe $100 on that ad group, you got 15 sales, you're happy, you see, okay, now let me look at inside of those creative. And this is basically what you're going to see. As you can see here, I've launched 12 ads inside one single ad group, and on here, we have clearly the winner. We have this one that is clearly the winning one. Why? Because when I scaled my ad group, I got 24 sales. Well, 26 total, but 24 was from one, two was from the other. So, what did that lead me? Well, that led me to know that, well, I need to turn off all the other ones because as you can see on here, look at the cost. TikTok is spending little by little money on other creative that could have been spent on the best one. Look at this. This is crazy when you think about it. Look, I spent $16 on this creative and made me zero sales. So that $16 could have been spent there instead. But I, like you need to understand that you need to test it. You need to test those creatives. So the first day, if you're a little bit in a loss or you're breaking even, it's not the end of the world because after that, the next day you're going to shut down all the other creative. But again, now you need to understand something. Look at this right here. This one got two sales, but let's look at the overall of the campaigns that I have made. You can see that this one sometimes got even crazier sales. As you can see, this one got 20 sales. Yeah, this one is clearly like the biggest winner, but this one was not too far at certain time. So that's why every time you analyze each ad group, you need to analyze each ad group like its own entity. So maybe on one ad group, you will have one creative that is working super well. Does that mean that you need to turn off all the other creatives on the other ad groups and keep the same one? No, because it probably is going to happen, what's probably going to happen is that you're going to have other creative that are going to work well on other ad groups. So keep that in mind. Maybe it's the same one. Like it could happen. Majority of the time will happen. But sometimes from time to time, you're going to have different ad groups that works with different creative. And that's very important because the majority of you guys, the first mistake that you do is you let run all the creatives all the time. Even if you have 50 sales on one creative, you never turn off the other ones. And what's that doing is that you're overspending on the creative that are not making money. So turn them off on that specific ad group. But on the other ones, look at inside of the ad group and be like, okay, I can clearly see that on ad group A, the creative 1 is working well. But on ad group B, the creative 3 is working well. So I'm going to leave the creative 3 on the ad group B, and I'm going to leave the creative 1 on the ad group A. And that's the way that you need to see your ad. So it's not a step by step robotic formula, it's just about analyzing the right data. So you launch your campaign, you start scaling it during the day by raising your budget every other hour, you'll have more sales. But again, you need to do that if you have a winning product. And how do you know it's a winning product? Well, you're making sales consistently during the day. If you have zero sales and you start raising your budget, nothing will happen, just that your bank will go closer to zero than it was already. That's it. So if you have sales, you start raising the budget, you have more sales, you can go inside of those ad groups, look at which one has the most sales, and at the end of the day, you're going to basically take the best ones and launch those ones. And that's what you need to do every single time that you're launching a product on TikTok. So you launch, you analyze, and you basically build your foundation with the best creative. And I always, that's a little tip that normally I give to my students, but I'm going to give it now. I always launch two type of creative. Two type of campaign. Sorry. So the first campaign, I call it the scaling campaign. So it's the campaign with the best creatives, but those creatives are going to die eventually. So how can I scale but at the same time test? Well, I create a second campaign every single time that second campaign is going to have brand new creative. So when that one dies inside of the main campaign that is scaling aggressively, I remove that one and I put the next best one. And that's how you switch creative and your product never dies because you're always on a rotation. The biggest problem of dropshipper is one, they don't have a winning product. Two, when they have a winning product, is they are not able to maintain profit for a long time. And three, well, they don't know how to scale ads. So, to be honest, TikTok is fairly easy to scale. Most of the time, it's all about the budget. There's other things here and there, but most of the time during the day, you're going to scale with the budget itself. After that you have done that, then you need to work with your creatives and always be in a state of rotation because a lot of you guys let your creative die, lose the momentum, and then add something new. No, you need to add it before they die. That's what you need to do. You need to replace it. So keep that in mind. It is very important. And yeah, guys, if you have any question whatsoever, let us know. I'm going to be more than happy. And again, look at the metrics here. Forget about the sales. Look at, let's say, the CPM, $15, CTR, over 1%. Do I have the CPC somewhere? CPC, under 40 cent. What does that mean? It means that not only I have a product that people want because it's making consistent sales, but I also have great creative because they are cheap. It is a cheap cost to acquire a client. First of all, as you can see, 40 cents to get someone on my website, I'll pay that any day of the week. A CTR of above 1%, I'll have that any day of the week. And a client acquisition of, let's say, $6, $4, $5, I'll have that any day of the week again. So, yeah, guys, this is literally what you want to do. And in another video, I'm going to show the product to show you that you don't need anything crazy to make money with dropshipping, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel because that product has been, making money for quite a while back in the days, and it made a good decent amount of money. And it's nothing crazy about the product, and I'm going to share it with you in another video. So stay tuned because it's going to be an amazing video. So yeah, guys, this is the video of today. If you have any question about creative, let me know down below because it's very important for the longevity of your product to know everything about creative. So yes, wish you all an amazing rest of your day. Take care and peace out.